I think it was called Harrah's Cherokee Resort or something like that. Um, she stayed there, and while she was in the room, or while they were in the room, they had somebody basically coming in their room, and it wasn't room service. She had spoke to room service like a little earlier in the day and let them know that they didn't need room service for that day, so room service actually gave them a bunch of like extra cleaning stuff, extra towels or whatever, so they didn't have to come back. So they were just in the room kicking it, and next thing you know, somebody was literally coming through their door. Didn't knock, they just were opening the door. Now luckily for her, she did have the latch on the door, so when the person tried to get in, they couldn't open the door all the way. So my parents kind of jumped up, throw their shoes on, and went to look in the hallway, and the person was gone. So it's safe to say it definitely wasn't um, a room service or somebody from the resort, because of course room service wouldn't disappear on you that quick when you open the door, because they have a cart, they have different things, So um, she called down to she called me first because they were like shaking up. So I told her like, hey, you need to call the front desk and speak to someone. So she called them, and they basically was like, well, we checked the system, it doesn't say any extra keys were made, so you should be good. And she's telling me this, and I'm like, no. They told her like, oh, the manager is on a call right now and blah blah blah. I said, y'all need to go down to the front desk. I also reached out to Janae just to get confirmation on what I should do, because I was telling her this at first because I was a little rowdy, and I said, you need to go down to the front desk and you need to demand to speak to a manager like immediately, because it clearly wasn't room service or somebody from the resort. And I was like, and tell them that you're a travel agent. So when she went down there, she had that conversation. She called me back later, and she basically told me that, when she mentioned that she was a travel agent, and, she didn't feel comfortable and safe and all of that, they kind of like switched their tone. The manager came down. They ended up upgrading her to a suite and giving her credit while they were there, also giving her money back on her actual reservation. And then they were like, we're gonna check the security cameras and whatnot. And I can't even say if they actually did that, because the next day my parents were checking out, and this happened the night before they checked out. But they did end up giving them all of these perks when she mentioned that she was a travel agent. So that's pretty much what happened.
And that's the power of opening up your mouth. I always tell y'all, um, it was a mess up situation, but that happened, right? And a scary situation at the same time. But definitely before you guys get to your locations, and even if you forget and you're on property, like when you're checking in, let them know, hey, I want to speak with a sales manager, so that the sales manager, and the reason why sales manager, general manager, a manager, and not the person at the front desk, because the person at the front desk is not going to care. They're not going to be, they're going to be like, okay. But when you talk to that sales manager, the sales manager already know promoting their properties and stuff is a great deal for them when they have a travel advisor on the property, because they know what you guys are going to do. Take pictures, blog it, post it, whatever, right? So they don't want you coming after them in a negative, impactful way for about an experience they could have helped prevent. Now, sometimes I like to go undercover because I don't want to be able to get the benefits as being a travel advisor, and you know it, and you just treat me right. But then I send clients there, and then you treat my clients wrong. 9 times out of 10, I already know Jay's mom is not going to go there again. Actually, 10 out of 10, not going to go there. And she's not going to recommend that location to anyone, even Jay. You see how that domino effect happened? That's a domino effect. They know we're gonna share. Jay just shared that resort, so now we all know, right? So are we gonna send our clients to a place where they breaking in folks' room, like bombarding them? Like, what if they didn't have that little safety mechanism on? And here's another tip for you guys: if y'all are doing Travel Tip Tuesday, or if you guys are doing any type of where you're the subject matter expert and you're dropping tips and stuff, that is one of them, especially solo travelers, families, it doesn't matter. Make sure you say, hey, when you guys are settled in for the night or anytime you're in your room, be sure to put that that extra security measure chain. I don't really see too many chains that more anymore. I see more like that
The
that
latch.
the latch. Yes. I see more like the latch. So do that as a tip. But right now, this is how the domino effect happens when things happen at resorts, positive and not so positive, right? So that is why it is important to say, hey, when things are not going well, listen, I came in out here to be a client, to see what it's like, to see how you would treat my clients, and this is what I'm having. So thanks, Jay, for sharing that experience. And I see Kim said she saw on TikTok where some guys are giving the keys to some ladies' rooms without even giving identification. What? And the
Yeah,
ladies have
I
no
saw that
idea.
too.
Oh my gosh, the front desk just reissued with no questions. Oh, that's yeah.
But
Mm.
you know what? I also with my clients and you know, I have told my mom this before, and this is something that I travel with. I travel with this little door stop that you know I always have it in my bag when I'm traveling, whether I'm staying in resorts or just Airbnbs and whatnot. And I do put that in the door so no one can come in, not even um housekeeping or anything. And if you know you guys want to see that, I'll drop a link to that in the chat so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is something that's on my packing list that I recommend to all of my travelers when they travel. So I just put the link in there if y'all want to see what that looks like.
Drop that link, Jay. That's awesome. Yes, that is great. That is a great solo family security travel tip. Miss Monica Bourne, she's in safety, and we were just having a conversation about, hey, she loves safety to be able to share safety tips because safety and travel go hand in hand. It's not all about the greatness and the fluff. That's cool and all, but also you want to talk about the safety part of it. So thank you so much, Jay, for kicking us off. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Happy Winning Wednesday. We got some wins from Miss Trina Adams. If you missed it, she got a couple of clients coming in, onesies and twosies, but she's got them. Her daughters have at college, they having a homecoming, people flying in, they have to get them hotels. Put yourself in the way so that you can get paid. That's how it works. So we're going to talk about travel joy. We're wrapping up what we were talking about last week with Bali. We kind of went through the step-by-step activities, what to add, how to take out the pricing. But we're now going to take the step because people were asking, like, if you upcharge, because this year we're doing something different with Bali. We went to Beds Online and we showed you how you can actually. I did put out the RFI for the all-inclusive, and I will tell you the net rate is $150 per day, but I believe that was the agent rate she was talking about because she was telling me that specifically. So I had to ask her what would be the rate for commissions for clients, right? Let me just make sure that I'm telling y'all the right thing. Information in the chat last week. But yeah, she said 150 a night with all inclusive at $110. So it would be $260. That's not commissionable. 260 not commissionable. So my question to her was to let me know what the commission is, and she's double checking what the commission rate is for that. All right. So we're speaking all things travel joy and itineraries. And if you missed the travel training on the previous one, if y'all want to ask other questions about travel, y'all definitely have to get on that training and ask those questions because they do a 30-minute Q&A. And they actually wrapped up at 19 minutes today, y'all, because people didn't have no questions. So make sure you guys get on that training to ask some questions about anything related to travel because they are the ambassadors. I'm just talking about travel joy and itinerary specifically to the trips that we do and any and all questions that you may have about travel joy and itineraries. And then we might have some little stories in there here and there about, things that we have experienced and of course our wins. All right. So now I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I'm going in and we have travel joy. Oh, at least I thought I was sharing my screen. I say stop sharing. Huh? Okay, let me see.
We can see we can see your screen.
Oh, y'all can y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Travel Joy. Yep.
Yes.
perfect. Okay. All right, so now I just said I'm going to be the test dummy for this, you guys, so you can actually see it from the client's perspective. So you can see everything that they will see on the opposite end as they're going through it, right? And what that looks like for you. So let's go with this. Let me go ahead and get this link. All right, so and player booking, new booking page. All right, so here we go. So here I am. I'm going in here. I'm going to book my package. And I'm going to do hmm, one traveler. One traveler for me is $2,500. And it's a $200 deposit. I can add these other extra things that we talked about last week in here if I wanted to. And what that looks like. Oh, I can add it. And then I can go over here and I can put the how many people, if it's going to be one or two. It's going to be one. Co-host, please let people in. And then I'm going to go over here. I can add, and y'all can see how it's adding the price point to it as you're going along, right? So I got one for the bridge. And so it gives me my total price and what's due now. So I'm going to go over here and continue to this traveler's information. And I'm going to put in my information. I'm going to enter the amount that I want to authorize. You talk about the credit card authorization forms. This is the digital credit card authorization form that TravelJoy has, where you got the click and you can type your name in. It's going to come out, and this I understand that this is a legally binding contract. And then I sign it. Then I continue over here to my payments. And then here I can do authorize deposit, or I can authorize the full amount. And then I can also add another card. Well, I'm going to add my card to use. And then I can sign it again for the terms and conditions so that you guys can see that as well. All right. So now I'm going to stop my share so I can put, I don't know, maybe I can put my card information in and y'all can't see it.
Janae, which form did you add on there?
I did. I'm using the basics.
The basic one? Oh,
And
okay.
TravelJoy just, put in already using the new system.
Okay.
And this is why I'm doing it because I want to see what it's like without me adding in the other forms that we normally add in. So let me see. Can y'all see my thing? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna stop my share so y'all want to see my card. Okay. All right. Let me go on over here. That's a good question. So Dr. C will come back to it because you see it was just a basic, simple form and it asks no other information, right?
Yeah, I like that it asks the amount and like actually authorizing whatever amount it is and then getting your signature.
Yeah, that's the basic. And that comes with everything.
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
it just looks a little different now.
from the office on the other side.
Hmm.
I always encourage you guys to put in a penny or a dollar or whatever too, so you can kind of walk through the process yourself and you can see it. Let me put this card number in. Okay. And then it goes to verify. I got the security code in. 483. You're gonna learn a couple of things on this one. You're gonna learn how you do it on on this side. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. This
Are
like
you recording?
I am.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, we took care of that. Let's see. Which one is this one? I think it's this one. Mhm. As soon as I put in my card information, I'll share my screen again so y'all can see the next one. It's asking me to save my credit card information, and I save my credit card information. All right, so now can I share my screen with you guys again? And like I said, co-host, make sure you guys let people in because I cannot see. All right. So here in the card description, it has, my card information. Now, I signed it first to do the authorization to tell them how much I'm going to authorize it for. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do it, and I'm talking about the terms and conditions. So Travel Joy has basic terms and conditions that you can use, but then you can also make your own terms and conditions. That's why it says by signing below, I authorize Ultimate Sky Travel to charge credit card provider here below. And then it says sign and agree to the terms and conditions. So when they're signing this, they are agreeing to your terms and conditions, whatever you have in your terms and conditions. That's powerful because it's a legality too, as well. So you want and to include chargeback. So if your terms and conditions say if you do a chargeback and it's found not founded, you can charge the client what, $50 or service fee or whatever the cost was to you. You can put that in your terms and conditions. That's just different things you can do. They can also draw the name. The last time I put in the type in part, but I could also draw it. So if you were on the training today, they were talking about credit card authorizations, typing it versus signing it and all that good stuff. So Travel Joy gives you both options. And I'm gonna dot my P. And I did this right-handed and I'm left-handed, y'all. All right, so now I'm gonna sign it. Sign is there. Here it is, my package, what it's looking like. And now I'm going to authorize. Keyword, y'all understand this is saying authorize, not charge. So I'm just authorizing this. So my credit card is going to hold this authorization until I physically now take this and go to the supplier and pay it. I like that. I love you. All right. So you guys see this? This is what your client gets. Thank you for your payment. This is something that I have on mine. So just sent to him, blah, 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 blah. So you can have your own verbiage and your receipt will be mailed to you. So they're going to get a receipt and you can see the receipt also in yours. So we're going to go back to Traveler. So that's it. Y'all see how simple that was for the client? All right. So now I'm going to go over here to my travel.
Janae, one thing I want to mention, I don't know if everybody knows, even though they get a receipt, they don't actually get a confirmation email though. Like you would do if you're sending like an invoice, on the group booking pages, for some reason they don't allow you to have a confirmation email sent automatically.
When you say confirmation email, what are you saying exactly, Jay? So I can make sure I'm understanding.
So, when you're setting up your group booking page and it asks you to select your confirmation page that you want linked to your trip for when somebody books, normally, like I like to also send a confirmation email with that information as well.
What do you put on your confirmation email other than, because I have they actually get the receipt from me with the invoice.
So on mine's is set up. Hold on, I can tell you real quick. My confirmation email is a little more in depth, I would say. Hold on.
So you created your own confirmation email?
Yes, I did. And I use their the little inserts also, so it'll automatically populate whatever the date is, whatever the destination is. It's just,
right. Yeah.
So they automatic. So that's on my confirmation page that they see when they get the email. I'm sorry, when they pay, they see the confirmation page that also has that information. But like when I do my individual invoices, they automatically get a confirmation email as well as the confirmation page so that they have more of a detailed situation inside of their records.
And so you guys can do exactly what Jay did. and you can create that in your forms, and you can easily send that in when it talks about when you send up your group, what type of when they pay, what do you want to have sent back to them? And it'll ask you to select that. So either way, you can do the generic one that Travel Joy has one, or you can be more detailed oriented and send your own to them. So it's like they get more information, but the system can do both and it works. So that was good, Jay. Thanks for that. All right. So now I did that as the consumer. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to see what it's like. As you guys can see, there's one person, and that's me, by it. And so here on your group page, you won't see anything, right? Right? You won't, this is just really, this is really for your groups. That's why I said group messages, group files, group everything. But then you'll see me right here as an individual. Here I am. So what Jay was also talking about, another way you can do it, if you wanted to, after all, like say you got more people, multiple people that booked, then you can also, you see right here, you can also create an email. And if you can also create an email template, which is right here, which is similar to like a form, and you can put in, if you got confirmation, this is what every person will get, a confirmation email to them because they've already made their payments. So if you want to do it that way, you can do that, do it this way as well, where everyone in the group will get it all at the same time. So you have multiple ways you can do it and get your information to your client. And it will look like this. And like I said, this is my own verbiage that I put in here. And you can add your own verbiage. So at every email you'll have, they'll get something with your information on it. Okay, so now because I did it, let's go to me. And here I am. So here I already have 11 emails scheduled. That's the other thing that you'll see because I have the task list. And then I have a couple of info. So I have a group email, welcome email. Then I have packing lists. These are all scheduled to go out to the clients already. You also can create your own automation to be able to go out automatically. So you see where this one has right here, 3/2/26 is scheduled. So this is going to be the final payment. So what is it that you notice about my particular one that you, if you do payment plans that you don't see on here? Anybody?
Can you repeat that, Janae?
What is it that you don't see that you would normally see in dealing with payment plans? So right here, you only see my, and I pointed out when I had the first, when I had, it had do I want to pay the deposit? And then it had an initial payment, right? The final payment. It had only the deposit and final payment option. What did you guys not see using our format with the grouping, with the way that we've been doing it with the newer method? What did
Is
you
it
not?
schedules?
Yes, the payment schedules.
Mhm.
You don't see a payment schedule. All you saw was that the first and the end, and that's it. So you'll probably have clients being like, oh, wait a minute, I thought I had a payment schedule, right? So what to do. But before we do, let's go over here. So I just want to let you guys know, when you do look at your note, your task, when you do create it, every person that you have that's going to be a part of the group is going to get an automated task list. Now, when you go over here in your groups, when you select all travelers, and then you go to your group tasks, you are not going to see a group task out there. These are things that you would have to add the task to. But one thing I do know, that the group tasks are not automated. Only individual tasks are automated. And the reason why that is like Jay was saying, like you come in, certain people come in and you can have an insert, whatever day that they come in, that's the day it's going to have on that particular email. Same thing with your, when people come in on your trip, they're going to have their own task list because they're coming in at different times. So the times are going to be changing for your individuals because it's automated based off the amount of time you said you're going to do. send it 90 days after the fact that they sign up, 30 days, or whatever days that you set it up for, right? So that's just something for you guys to know when you're dealing with your task list and not knowing that there's not one for group, but there is one for individuals. So I'm going to go over here to the messages and I'm going to see based off of what I just paid. I just, not paid, but authorized. See, deposit authorized. I now have my credit card authorization form and my invoice, which my the people will get this, soon as I make this payment, right? They got an invoice created, but they don't have a receipt, you guys. An invoice and a receipt is two different things. But you have the signed authorization here and you got the payment information here. Okay. So we're gonna go in here, we see the invoice. That's right here. So based off the invoice, I selected this package. And then it has given me, the price point of my additional, what I put in additionally for, oh gosh, what I'm saying, for my excursion, my activities, right? And then right here, you see it has enter the amount you'd like to authorize, the amount due, the remaining balance, that's it. And then, add, so this is it. But right here, the payment schedule. There is not a payment schedule. But can you fix that? Absolutely. You can fix it. You can go in here if you didn't do it beforehand, and you didn't select when we'll show where you can go in there. You can select on your group booking page having the payment plan on it, but let's just say you forgot to do it. So you can go back and you can say add multiple payments, and then you can say monthly. And you can put whatever the due date is. You can say the first of the month, and you can make it equal, and then you can create the schedule and have your ending date. So that your ending date is whatever your date you want it to be paid by. And so since this is in May 1st of 2026, we want to make sure things are paid out 30 days prior. So we're going to put our last date to be right here, and we're going to create that schedule. So again, this is how you create a schedule if by for chance that you forgot. And see what happens. I have no payments because I have this total right here, 2473. I did this on purpose because you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what is this? This is not acting right. So of course it's not acting right. And it only has this, and you have all these zero payments that's down here. So what to do, what to do, what to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna hit because I want to delete all this. So I'm just gonna go back. And more than likely, and I already saved, so I'm gonna show you, it saves it. So I'm gonna go back into my invoice and I'm gonna hit my little edit button again. And it's still there. Oh no, what to do, what to do? So right here, you're gonna go in here, you're gonna add multiple payments like so. This time you do your monthly, fix, you're gonna put your date in, 2026, you're gonna put in April the 1st. You want to make your payments equal. Now you can create the schedule. So you don't have to go and divide and type it in manually. If you make a boo-boo, it's okay. You see all these zeros and like, oh no, it's all these zeros. It's okay. You can go and you can delete it just like this. It's not going to hurt anything. It just, add more work. Make sure you don't delete the one that you're supposed to. It just add a little bit more work to you. So attempt not to make the mistake. But once you do it a couple of times, you won't do it no more, right? Because you learn your lesson. All right. But this is how you go in and this is how you set it up to have it to be multiple payments custom, because on the new system, if you don't go in there, if you don't go to your booking page and we don't select payment plans, it's only going to give them the first and the final, right? So this is what we have. And then, you got your invoice name down here. Right here, confirmation page. This is what Jay was talking about. You can add your confirmation page and you can do a confirmation email. The email that came up was my simple one, but then you can, when I was talking about the emails and what she was talking about, you can go in and you can select your confirmation email that you want to be able to put in here that they will also receive with your confirmation page. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anyone have questions over that? Everybody tracking and understand?
Janae,
Mhm.
it's crazy because your booking page is allowing you. Oh wait, are you on when you went down to select the confirmation email? Is that on the invoice or is that on the booking page?
This is on the invoice right here on
Oh,
the
okay, okay. Because I was like, my booking page doesn't let me select a
segment.
confirmation
Mhm.
email
So it does on the
on the
invoice.
invoice. Right, right, right.
And
Yes,
that's why I was saying the other way you can do it outside of the individual. If you don't want to do individual, is to send it as a group with the
right,
same.
right, right, right.
So you're tracking. So then I did the preview and this is what it looks like, right? So you see on the other thing that it doesn't show that what it was that they selected for their additional options. It's going to show you on a different page, but it doesn't show your client. So again, if you want to go in and edit this information and put it in there, you absolutely can right here by putting the item name that's in there. And I'm not sure why this did it. I'll figure it out. Why it didn't come over because it should have because it was connected to the itinerary. So
Mm.
I have to find out why that didn't because they are linked together.
You might have to send them an email. I was talking to them earlier because they were having a lot of glitches on the website last night.
Okay, that's good to know. So, because that's not supposed to happen, you guys. It's supposed to, if it's linked together, it's supposed to bring up the information for you. So you don't have to go in and manually do it anymore. And so now you can hit their save and you review your email. Boop. This person put together your invoice, blah, blah, blah. That's when you're sending it to them. So now they see that you're going to make this payment. So let me tell you, let's back up. Before you send this, right here, you can go ahead and you can make this payment. Once you make the payment to the supplier, okay, you guys, it says authorized, right? So you can charge the $200 right here. When you hit charge $200, that means that you went ahead and already did it with the supplier. You can mark it as paid and you can hit charge right here. So here it's going to do the same thing. It's going to mark it as paid. It's going to say authorized, it's going to pay, and it's going to send the email receipt directly. Now, here is the deal. We were talking about um, how do you do the upcharge? For example, if the package is $2,000, right? And the supplier, we know out of that $2,000, 400 of those dollars belong to the tour company, right? And that, because mind you, I didn't put the markup in here at all yet. This is just keeping it basic and simple. But so you know that $400 of that is belonging to the tour company. And so the tour company, you're going to have to pay separately. And people were like, well, what if when you do the tour company, like how does that work? Right. So here you have where you can do Janae Piss, you charge because you're not wanting to charge the card multiple times, right? You don't want to charge that card the time, the charge amount that it has. Charge amount $20 is if I hit the button that I hit, let me hit that again so y'all can see this button versus this button. This button will mark it as paid because I called the supplier and I did the entire $200 towards that booking. Does that make sense? I made it to the Beds Online and I went in and I put $200 and I paid $200 total, nothing else. So I'm clicking mark as paid because now it's authorized and I have already put in the card information on Beds Online, right? This one right here, and that's why I'm doing this as a guinea pig. This one allows you to put the net amount, which is charging you a convenience fee. So it's not the $200. Y'all see that? It just says the net amount that's going to make this available instantly in group funds. And it's going to make it go from authorized to paid. And it's going to send your client the same thing, the charge to $200. And this is what this looks like. Okay, so now you have that funding that you can use to pay that supplier separately, and you go to your group funds, and then that's when you can do one of those what do you call those, virtual cards to pay, so you're not charging. This is a way, but most often, most people, this is what you guys want to know, because the question was, how do I get my markup if it's total the same? This is a way that you can also get your markup. You can go into the group funds, but let me be clear about this. Okay. When we're talking about the invoice of paying, because there's a history, right? So it says like 192 is available, and this is how you would get your markup. So if you marked it up a couple of $100, and it says pay a supplier right here, everybody knows what that looks like, and you do the virtual credit card. But then it says withdraw my markup. So this is how you do that, with the markup. But let me tell you, when you're paying a supplier also, you can also pay it on the behalf of the client as well when they're doing it. So that's when you come in and you're having to pay supplier. Does anybody have any questions about how that works? So now look at what it's going to look like if I want to do, return this to the individual, which is me, right? So I'm going to go over here on my invoice, on my files. And then this is my invoice right here. And you see, it has the receipt, it has request refund, it has view receipt. So here's another thing. You just hit request refund, boom. This is the breakdown, the $200, 192 from the group funds, 730 from the travel door, $200. The processing time is 5 to 10 business days. And then I hit refund, and my refund hasn't been initiated. And I like doing it, especially I wait to the last minute, really, as long as I possibly can, to do these things for the client. So let's just say something happens and they need to have their money refunded back to them, then I'm hitting that refund button. So I don't have to go to the supplier and I have to say, hey, boom, 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 because it's still authorized to what they did, and it hadn't went anywhere. I haven't paid anything yet. So then if it's authorized and you hadn't done any transactions, then you can cancel it out. They're not going to be charged. But if you had already processed it and you're doing like where we have if it's like your markup or whatever the case may be, and they ask for a refund, then you want to give them that money back to them. Any questions before I jump to how you're going to make this booking link on your booking link, change it to where you can have where you can actually see if you can make the payments on here. Any
I have a
questions?
question real quick. So when you take the authorized payment, let's say today you made the payment, wouldn't I, as a travel agent, have to use that payment before the next payment? Because like if you made a payment this month, you pay $200 this month, I would have to use that $200 before next month, because it's going to authorize for another $200 next month, but it's only going to authorize for $200. So I won't have $400 if I don't use it in the beginning.
That's correct. And you don't want to hold it like that. You want to make sure, because like I tell people, if you're doing the authorized, because it's not automatic, it doesn't have automatic, where it pays it automatically. You're the payer. So if you have it scheduled, like I do my payments every Friday, and that person makes some payment on Monday, but you're not already educated your clients to say, hey, even if you make a payment on Monday, I process payments on Friday. So they already know it's not going to be processed on that Monday. It's going to be processed on that Friday, but you have to process it within a timely manner. What happens if you don't? They forget. What happens to that money? It disappears. And then they're probably like, look, I thought I paid this. Does that make sense?
Right.
So
So
you get it done. Go ahead.
so when because that's what I do. because since I've been using the supplier
Mhm.
page, but because I do that now, I've never used the supplier page and charged the credit card and had that money go to the group funds because it does take money from them, which
Mhm.
means that I would either have to intentionally mark up each thing,
Mhm.
each payment. I would have to do the math on that, which I guess is like $7 and some change, as you just did with your $200 payment. But I would have to figure that out with each payment for me
Mhm.
to be able to do that. But I guess we wouldn't want to do that anyway, because as we're making payments to suppliers, it will be under our name. So therefore, I would have to, if they made a payment today, I would have to use their card to go ahead and make the payment to the supplier, which means that I wouldn't be able to allow that money to kind of fester if they did want to refund.
Right, but that is only, so that's a great question. So let's, you can do that on $400. You can do that on $400 because $400 belong to the other supplier that you're going to pay.
So okay, so essentially it's like I'm gonna give you the money back that we would be paying to for the excursions and
Yes,
those people,
yes.
if anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the excursions are the ones things that you can't really control. You know what I mean? Because stuff happens. And when we book out so far, the hotels are easier, because they're kind of locked in, but the excursions can change. They can cancel it out. It might not be there anymore. It'd be like, what happened? But I've seen it. Viatar's done it a lot. It depends on the person they're contracted with. So excursions change. So that's why I said the $400, which is specific for excursions, if you are including it in your price point, excursions only, if you're including the excursions into your price point, then this is how you can do that. The other way, people were like, well, how do I charge for insurance, right? With with Allianz, if y'all are doing an outside insurance, and they was like, well, do I do multiple payments or do I do it like that? You can do it just like this too as well. But the key thing is you have to remember, if you do it like that, the convenience fee. So if you're short, that's going to come from your pocket if you're paying Allianz directly. So you have to be mindful. It's a part of, like, the client's not responsible for it, to be you, because you have to set it up that way. And if you're doing it this way, there's no way where you're saying you're setting it up to where you're going to the convenience fee is going to be inside of that. That's one thing I do want to ask Travel Joy about, because I didn't see it. So I was like, well, what do you do if you want to add that convenience fee so you don't have to eat it? What does that look like? But I think because it's already a set payment, and this is my thinking process, is because you already set the set payment is 2,500, is 2,500. That's it. That's what the clients is going to be charged. And how you pay it in the background is how, up to you, which is why, if you, what Jay just said, it makes it really simple and easy if you just go ahead and stick with supplier payment. And if you're going to be doing an upcharge, you already did your upcharge or whatever inside of there. But also understand, if you do it this way, you're not going to get the whole amount because they're going to take that convenience fee when you process it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so here you see it has supplier right here. And this is how you change it. So, like, again, if you forgot to change it beforehand, and you saw it, you noticed it on one of your clients, that's why I say you be the guinea pig. So you can go through it on the other side, so you can make sure you got all your ducks in a row, right? So here I'm like, oh man, I forgot. I only had deposit and final payment. So I'm going to go ahead and put monthly payments on here, right? And here, this is the confirmation page we're talking about. Y'all notice the difference between what it looks like on the individual. It gives a confirmation page on here and a confirmation email on the individual, which you can also send out in the group. That's what Jay was talking about, to show you. And then here are your terms and conditions. And like I said, you can have your terms and condition that comes from Travel Joy that they have already done, or you can go ahead and create your own terms and conditions through the template and go through it that way. And that is how you set up your payments on a monthly payment schedule. That is also how you pay, or you pay the supplier, and you pay a separate supplier at the same time, if you're going to be paying the supplier from the virtual card, and also how you would do it if you're going to be doing a markup, but knowing that you're going to have your convenience fee. And that's the one thing I need to ask Travel Joy about. Go ahead, Ms. Z, what you got?
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused still of how like I would be able to pay Allianz or was it Viator? Can you kind of go over that one more time? I'm sorry. Through this process.
Mm, okay, because I just refunded myself back to it, so I can't duplicate it. So what I'm gonna tell you to do, look at the recording because I did stream it to YouTube. Because I put in my credit card information for it so that I can go and I can show you guys what that looks like. And I've already refunded myself the money.
Right. I saw you do that process. So what I'm saying is, so
So if I
once
try to show
you
you
took out
again, I can show you. That's what I'm saying.
okay, but I'm saying you took out the $200 and then but I mean, so did you take that $200 even though it was less and pay that supplier?
Nope,
Uh,
I did not.
okay.
I
Okay. I
showed you
saw that I saw that you didn't do it on here, but I'm saying, is that why you would have done that? I'm just confused as to why that took place. That's
because you would be getting your markup. If you had a markup, you would do your markup. But I said to keep in mind that if you do this, your markup is going to have money taken out of it because of
got
the
it.
convenience fee. And if you want to do this to pay another supplier like Allianz, I said to, hey, because that's what Jay mentioned. If you do this to pay another supplier, you have to account for the convenience fee for it, the conversion for it. So you will be short if you attempted to pay a supplier like Allianz or any other supplier that you're attempting to pay because it's going to take it out. So only be beneficial to me for you if I was saying if you were just want to do your own markup from it. Because the question is always, well, how do I get my markup if I'm doing a supplier authorized payment? That's the question that always comes up. And how do you do that without doing a separate invoice? So this is how you do it. The invoice is $2,500. The monthly payment or the deposit was $200. If I want to do my markup for myself, then I can hit that one little button versus the paid. It says charge credit card versus the paid one. Did you see that part?
Yes.
Okay, versus the paid. And if you hit the charge credit card, that's when it allows you to pay yourself as your markup.
Got
And
it.
if I can just throw something in there, Janae, for Z, when it comes to paying your suppliers, like with Allianz, what I would do, what I do, when they do create their own monthly payment plan, I go into the payment plan and I will make one full payment, whatever Allianz is. So if it's like 280, 219, whatever it is, I will change their payment plan so one payment can match that total amount.
Mm-hmm.
And then so when their credit card is authorized, I take that payment and straight pay it from the supplier without depositing the money to the travel funds so you don't lose anything. So you can do that as well. You just have to do the math to change up the numbers a little bit as far as what each payment should be. But that's what I do.
And there's
Okay.
and so
Thank you.
that looks like this. Thank you, Jay. So when I went in there and we hit edit and I made that foo bar mistake and I was like, oh, I didn't have multiple payments and stuff like that, right? So you can't do this on a group, right? You have to do this on each individual payment or each individual invoice. If you do it like that, you'll have to do it on each individual invoice, not as a whole, because it's not going to allow you to do that. Does that make sense? So what
Yes.
that So if you got 20 people, you're gonna have to do that on all 20 people that you have. Okay. Um, so what I like to do also, like what Jay was saying, so when you hit edit on your invoice right here, And this is what she was saying. Oh, y'all see my refund, boom, 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 back to me. When you hit edit, oh,
You can just click on the whichever one you want to.
I was making sure. I was like, "What my edit? I'm already in edit." So here, I'm gonna click on my price, right? So say my Allianz, and it's an individual. So say it's not 309, right? It's instead of 309, it's 200. Here's the deal, you guys. When you authorize the payment for 309.13, right? That's what you authorize the payment for. So instead of me going in here and changing it to match individual payments, what I do is, because they authorize it for the 309, I kind of know what my payment plans are for it. So say the payment is $280, right? Let's just make it easy. Let's say it's 150. So that leaves 159 that I can split that payment. So I'm gonna make a authorization on the card for the 150 to Allianz, and then I'm going to make that 159 deposit to the hotel Beds Online. So they authorize the total amount for that, and it's going to be the even amount for it. So that's the way that I do it, because I don't like to do all this extra work. I'm just saying, I know. So when they authorize me 309, that's what they authorize me for. I go in here, I put in the payment for Allianz, for whatever that payment is, and then I also split the payment up. And what Jay was saying, that if it is right here, if it is 150, let's just say it's 150 right here, boom. So then when you get down here, it's gonna say it's a mismatch. That's okay. All you gotta do is hit add payment, and it'll make it whole again for you. So right here, this is where I go in and I say Allianz Insurance or whatever. Allianz Insurance. Boom. And then I'll hit paid, because I didn't pay that. I authorize that. And then over here, it'll have 150. Y'all see that? I'll put right here, hotel payment. Boom. And then when they preview it, and then of course I hit paid for both of those. And these two together will be the total amount that they authorize, which would be 309, whatever. And then right here, instead of unpaid, it'll have paid for each one. Make sense?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. We make it do what it do for our greens, y'all. They love it. Analytical. I love that we work together. We work smarter and not harder. Those are great questions. And I'm glad that we were able to navigate and show what that looks like. And of course, if you didn't get it, you can always go back, look at the recording, check it out, pause it, rewind it. I will definitely tell you again, use supplier payments, authorized only. Do not try to bamboozle the system, you guys, because that paper trail, the reason why I put Allianz for payment 1 and hotel payment 2. So if anything happens, my ducks are in a row, my I's are dotted, my T's are crossed. If it is a markup that you are going to do, you need to be able to put that into your markup. That's your markup, whatever your markup is. Because the system is going to show it and it's going to display it. So you want to make sure that you're in compliance with all things. All right. All hearts and minds. Let's check the chat. Okay, things in the chat. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jay. Okay, she's putting her confirmation email so y'all can see it. Thanks for that. All right. So y'all see that? Can we book? Okay, Martha's Vineyard. And can you book to Martha's Vineyard? You absolutely can book to Martha's Vineyard. What was that? Marquita said that. Can y'all see? Y'all probably can't see this, but y'all can click on Jason and you guys can see her template. You can click on it. When you click on it, if you're on your device, it'll open somehow, and you can save it too as well. That was good, Jay. And Jay, you can share the forms in Travel Joy. So you can actually share this email template. You can drop the link for it.
Yeah, I know.
She said, I want y'all to break y'all.
You know, I was selling a bundle with everything already created, all of your whole workflow. I was selling the bundles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to promote that because we're in a little time of everything is free. But if you want to go and you want to get it done for you, but done for you services, we have people that do that. Okay. All right, everybody. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. Thank you for showing up for your success. I'll see you guys not next week because it's convention. So next Wednesday, there will be no corporate training. There will be corporate training. Yeah, will it be corporate? I think they said corporate training. Yeah, I forgot already. Oh, yes, there'll be corporate training and there will be IMVs. There'll be the IMV in the morning and there'll be the corporate training on Wednesday at 7. But it will not be travel training with Director Mayberry McCombs next week. There won't be any Goal Builders calls for next week. There won't be a power hour for next week. So all the little smaller calls that we have on our calendar, they won't be for next week, but only the corporate training. And Marquita has said no basic training. All right. So again, everybody's going to be rolling to convention. So we'll see you guys on the IMV. You guys take care and be blessed.